כולנו גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שווה כולנו גם יחד. How sweet it is, how good it is, how good it is for us to be together. How good it is, how sweet it is, how good it is for us to be together. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שווה כולנו גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שווה כולנו גם יחד.
Those words the cantor sang opening the service are a paraphrase of the well-known verses from Proverbs, Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad, how good and how sweet it is that we all can sit together, can be together, that feeling that we experience every Shabbat. And I was thinking about that this week as I saw so many pictures from Purim, as we experienced Purim here with a huge crowd. It was great to see the room full of people celebrating the downfall of Haman, and here and afterwards in the party. But I was also thinking about it as I saw pictures of Purim from Israel, a Purim that looked very different, because Israelis, of course, were told that they were not supposed to go to their synagogues or gather in large events as they worried about missiles incoming in. And sadly, it's been a situation in Israel too much over the last couple of years where Israelis haven't been able to come together for those significant events, whether because of COVID or because of the Gaza war or now because of the war in Iran. But still, the incredible pictures that I saw were the pictures of Israelis gathered in their bomb shelters, reading the Megillah and celebrating Purim. And a reminder that even if it's not in a grand, beautiful synagogue like this, the opportunity to come together, to pray, to study, to worship, to read Megillah, tell over our fun stories, to enjoy that time together is something that we appreciate wherever and whenever we are able to do that. And that's what a blessing it is to come together for Shabbat, for our day of rest, as we do every week. And Shabbat begins with the candle-lighting blessing. The flame marks the end of the 6 days of the week and the beginning of the day of rest. I want to call on the Prime Timers Planning Committee to join us up on the bima and lead us in the candle-lighting blessing. I invite everyone to please rise.
Beautiful group. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Good Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. May be seated. Let's turn in the Sidurim in the prayer books to page 10. We open up Kabbalat Shabbat with the words of Yedid Nefesh, page 10.
Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman Mishoch Avdach El Ritzonach Yar hayal yishachave el mul hadorach ki erav lo yedidutach minof etzuf vechol tam yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai lai yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai lai yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai lai yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai 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 lai.
Page 11, Lechuner Anana.
Let's join our voices together. Lechuneranina, 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 l'Adonai. Lechuneranina, 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 l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu nikad b'fanav b'toda. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu mizmirot naria lo. Lechuneranina, 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 l'Adonai. Lechuneranina, 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 l'Adonai. 40 שנה כופדור ואומר המטועי לבבהם והם נדעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי ואפי אם יבואון המנוחתי.
Sing to God a new song, sing to God all the earth. Page 13, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash.
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, מסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו. אסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו. בכל העמים נפלאותיו, ספרו בגויים כבודו. בכל העמים נפלאותיו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו. פסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, פסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל התייר. לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט טבע בצדק, ועמים באמונתו.
Turn to page 20, at the bottom of the page, Romamu.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו, רוממו אדוני אלוהינו, והשתחוו להר קודשו. והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש, כי קדוש, כי קדוש, אדוני אלוהינו. כי קדוש, כי קדוש, כי קדוש, אדוני אלוהינו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו.
Let's turn to page 21. Please rise for Mizmor LeDavid.
מזמור לדוד. הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש. כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד הרים, אדוני המים רבים. כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארצי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון, וסריון כמו בן רמים. כל אדוני חוצב לבot איש, כל אדוני יחיל מדבר, יחיל אדוני מדבר קדיש. כל אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחשוף יערות, ובכלו כולו מרכבות. אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
May be seated. Let's turn to page 23. We welcome the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat Bride, with the words of Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, yishmi'anu el hameyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה הנה שבת מקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה הנה שבת מקבלה בואי ושלום עטרה בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה הנה שבת לך דודי לקראת קלה הנה שבת נקבלה.
May be seated. It is good to thank you, O God, to sing to your name most high, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. We turn to page 27, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות עלי עשור ועלי נבל עלי היגיון צדיקת אמר יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינבו בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי אשר אדוני צורי ולא הבלטה בו.
Page 29.
אדוני מלכי ולבש אדוני עושי תזר אבטיקון דבר פרטימות מקולות מים רבים אדירים ישברי גם אדיר במרום אדוני עירותיך נמנו בביתך נאווה קודש אדוני לאורך ימים.
And I invite everyone to please rise as we turn to our neighbors. Just take a moment and say Shabbat Shalom to the people around you. Introduce yourself if you don't know them yet. Not the people you came in with, everybody else. Fair enough. Okay. Thought about that.
I thought about it too.
And each and every Friday night, we share the oldest words of prayer of blessing in the Jewish tradition, the priestly blessing, the words that ask God to grant each of us the appropriate blessings for each of us, and the words that end with the word shalom, that really important Jewish word, asking for peace. We encourage you to put your arms around the person next to you as we share these words of bracha.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. We join together. Ken yehi
God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Ein yehi ratzon.
May God lift up God's face towards you, and may God be merciful unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. Ein yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ein yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ein yehi ratzon.
May God grant you shalom, grant you peace. Ken yehi ratzon. May be seated. We turn to the Mishaberach prayer, to the prayer for healing, as we think of the people in our lives in need of physical and spiritual well-being this Shabbat. If you have someone you'd like to include in the prayer, I invite you to rise in your place and to share the names of the people you're praying for when I come to you. Kayla? At Kol HaCholim and all those who are ill, we join together a prayer for healing.
Yisheberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Turn to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 30. I invite those in mourning or marking at your site to rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mevorach leolam u'lamei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yit'alal, shemei d'kudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen, yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen, oseh shalom b'mromav, Uyaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May be seated. Shabbat shalom. So in my house on Friday afternoon, when the kids get home from school, especially during the winter, if it's cold outside or nasty outside, they know that means they can come in and turn on the TV and lie down on the couch, and they will not hear anything that we say as long as the TV is on. How many of you are familiar with that state of affairs? You've encountered it various times. Ezra, you know it well, I guess. It's very frustrating sometimes. But on Friday afternoon, as you know, we welcome in Shabbat, 18 minutes before sundown with the lighting of Shabbat candles. And as that time is approaching, we give a 10-minute warning and a 5-minute warning and a 2-minute warning and a 1-minute warning that the TV is going off and we're about to light Shabbat candles. Somehow, even with all those warnings, they still don't always get it when it's time. But we get there and the TV goes off. And occasionally, we have a discussion. And the kids will ask the obvious question: how come we can't watch TV on Shabbat when so-and-so can watch TV on Shabbat? Somebody else, whatever other Jewish person they happen to have seen right before having this conversation. And could give a very technical answer that we're told in the Torah on Shabbat we don't do milacha, which some people translate as work, but we shouldn't mean that it just means your occupation. Milacha means any type of creative labor, any way that we're changing the world. And over time, the definition of milacha has expanded to include activities such as watching TV. I could give that very technical answer, but they're not quite ready for that one yet. So instead, I say something along the lines of, people have different ways of observing, of honoring Shabbat, Shabbos, Sabbath, the day of rest. But for us, being able to say that we're not looking at screens is a very special part of the day. It helps on Friday night to have that dinner, and Shabbat morning, instead of Saturday morning cartoons before shul, we're currently playing either Uno or Ticket to Ride on a more advanced level. And somehow my 7-year-old is very good at winning games. I don't know how that is. But it's a special time, and we usually tell them that we observe Shabbat in our way, and other people observe Shabbat in their particular way that's right for them. And we hope that our way of what we teach them about observing Shabbat is something that's going to stay with them throughout their life, and that they'll learn to appreciate and learn the value of. Well, this week's Torah portion is one of the Torah portions that talks about Shabbat. Of course, the idea of rest starts all the way at the beginning of the Torah with Genesis, with the creation of the world. God creates the world in 6 days and rests on the 7th. But in Shmot, in the book of Exodus, the commandment is actually given to the Jewish people to actively take that day of rest, that Shabbat. It starts with the 10 Commandments, commandment number 4, to guard the Shabbat, and it continues over a number of parshiot. In the parsha tomorrow, Ki Tisa, we're going to read a very familiar set of verses, a set of verses that we're actually going to sing in a few minutes. We sing them every Friday, and Shabbat morning, and Kiddush again. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, that the people of Israel shall observe Shabbat, maintaining it as an everlasting covenant throughout all generations. It is a sign between me and the people Israel for all time, that in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, and on the 7th day ceased from work and rested. And we sing that as we welcome in Shabbat. We quote this particular parsha, and the Jews are taught this in Exodus as they're in the process of building the Mishkan, as they're involved in the ultimate creative labor, putting up the first temple to God, the first Jewish holy place. And according to tradition, they're reminded to keep Shabbat because they're very excited about what it is that they are doing. They have this big project that's bringing them together as a community that's important, it's beautiful, it allows them to connect to God. But they're reminded that no matter how excited they are about it, it's good to take a step back on Shabbat, on the Sabbath, and to choose to rest, to say that it's okay to stop on this day, that the world is going to continue without whatever I'm doing, and we'll be able to pick it up again afterwards, whether it's something as silly as watching TV or something as serious as building the Mishkan or whatever else it is we might be doing. And in the words of Vishamru that we sing, Shabbat is described as an oath, as a sign. And I always picture that word oath. We use it in a few different times in Jewish tradition. Another time we call something a sign is the wrapping of tefillin that we do on weekday mornings, another sign of the relationship between God and Israel. And I think of that word sign, ot, as something like a wedding ring, some visible sign or some visible item that we have or something that we do that symbolizes a relationship and all of the emotions and commitments that go along with that relationship. That our ot, our sign, our wedding ring with God is the tefillin or is the Shabbat, the Sabbath that we observe. And that comes with a lot of serious responsibilities. For traditionally minded Jews, it starts with the 39 melachot, those 39 categories of labor or creative labor that I talked about. But to rest, we have to actively choose to do something. So the challenge for each and every Jewish person to make Shabbat be that sign is to think about what you step back from on this day. Whether you are fully Shomer Shabbat, partially or not at all, think about what changes on this day that makes it distinct, that makes it different from the other days of the week. What is the visible way in your home that this day, Shabbat, is different from the 6 days of the week that indicates that you're resting on this day? Shabbat Shalom. Continue with the Mariv, the evening service, page 39. Please rise. May be seated. Blessed are you, Lord our God, creator of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars and their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from before the light.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים. תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, אמר לי ורבי. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך, אהבת טוב למצוות. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך תעשה ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen. Page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Yahavta et Adonai Elohecha, echol levavecha, uvechol nafshecha, uvechol meodecha, vehayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi tzatzarecha, hayom alevavecha, veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha v'leitecha, v'lechtecha v'derech, v'shalchecha v'kumecha, v'shatam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, Usartam, Al Yisrodech,
Techa.
Uvisharecha.
Oh, to Susan and Steve Marcus. We continue, page 42.
This is Susan and Stephen Marcus for leading us in Shema. Adonai Elohechem emet.
Achnu Yisrael. Oh. Then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, top of page 44.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם, משה ומרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה, בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר. נורא תהילות, אוסף אלה, אוסף נורא תהילות, אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו פניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאל ומאיר חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Amen. Allow us, our God, to sleep peacefully and awaken us again to life. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Blessed are you who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
Just curious, was anybody at the Matisyahu concert this week? How was it? It was just, I heard you had to leave and come back, and so we like to sing Matisyahu's One Day in the midst of our Hashkivenu. It's become such a prayer for peace for the Jewish people, and how exciting that you were there with him right here in Charlotte. So when we get to that part, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom leshalom v'ha'amidenu malkeinu lechaim lechaim ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha shlomecha. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down, 'cause when negativity surrounds, I know someday it will all turn around, because all my life I've been praying for, I've been waiting for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. Whoa, one day, one day, one day. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ushmor tzitenu bohinu lechaim u'shalom me'ata v'ad olam ufros leinu sukat shalomecha baruch ata Adonai haporei sukat shalom alin v'kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Page 46, please rise.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. B'ni u'bein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ubayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. יתקטל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
אמן.
ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון וביום איכון
ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. עגלה בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, במהרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולם יומיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, יתעטר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשא בריחו, לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בימה, במהרו אמן. We spend the next few moments in silent prayer with the words of the Amidah, beginning on page 47.
Shalom Rav an Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav an Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Hi atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Tasim leolam, tasim leolam.
Page 54, Kaddish Shalem.
Ikaravi kadash meraba.
Amen.
Ve'amad yivrach yirutei ve'amnichachutei b'chayechon ve'mochon v'chayzcho b'eit Yisrael. Bagalau v'zman kariv yimru amen.
Yehi shmeraba mevorach, ve'olam olam le'omaya.
Yiparach, yiparach v'yishabach v'yipar v'truma v'yinaseh v'yitzadar v'yitzalash mirikut shabrihu. Leila mincha berchata v'shirata tishvechata v'nachamata damiran me'ama v'yimru amen. Titkabal tziltonu v'alton d'chol Yisrael kodam avuhon v'yishmai v'yimru amen. Yehi shomar rava min shemai v'chamilim v'chol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav u'yaseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. Amen.
Page 55, please rise for the Kiddush. I want to invite any kids here to join me. Here we're led by Earl Norman, child at heart.
Always. Kids. There we go. Good year. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri agafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishonu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'yava ratzon ichilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tefila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'charta, yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, yahava u'ratzon, inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
I am Koach Earl. We continue with Aleinu, page 56.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליותר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומושבי קרוב בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו עינון, הם מבקינו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינון. הכתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
seated. We turn to page 58. This week we observe the Yort sites of Alan Sykes, Benjamin Bedrick, Daniel Jennis, Eva Shoemaker, Isaac Medansky, Jeremy Aaron Sofin, Jerome Burke, Mayor Hunger, Miriam Miller, Shirley Palmer, Abraham Goldstein, Abraham Levine, Barbara Sklut, Benjamin Shapiro, Lorena Body, Louis Goldsmith, Pauline Bergen, Rebecca Gordon, William Salem, Anna Seigler, Charlotte Gold, Harry Goldfarb, Ida Kaufman, Irving Livingston, Johnny Goldberg, Louis Goldberg, May Kropp, Robert Guggenheim, Sonia Lusky, Stanton Polyakov, Toby Melvin Drucker, Arnold Pristowski, Blanche Sanderson, Diane Wolfman, Elsie Flegel Fields, Florence Ziebel, Isaac Dushkin, Jay Langsam, Lillian Messenger Bayer, Myron Kaufman, Renee Buxbaum, Robert Ochaki, Stanley Gindi, Vladimir Buckengoltz, Charlotte Friedland, Dora Perlin, Elaine Hirsch, Jerome Maddens, Louis Katzen, Rebecca Moskowitz, William Beanstalk, Arthur Becker, Barry Galtinoff, Evelyn Goldstein Nagelberg, Francis Abrams, Gilbert Lewis Gross, Jack Scharfglass, Lenora Stein, Maxine Albaum, Muriel Kronsberg, Nelson Sfredo, Panina Diener, Vernon Kraus, Abe Slutsky, Bracha Klieger, Eva Berkowitz, Issy Kozilski, Nathan Glauberman, Sam Levy, Bonnie Weidlitz, Elsie Whale, Fanny Bernstein, Hilda Cooper, Chaya Galinsky, Morris William Goldman, Muriel Danilin Slavin, Norton Bernbach, P.B. Fisher, Paul Spill, Robert J. Davis, and Zane Steinberg. We also mark the recent passings of Alex Jerkovich, Sarah Ackerman, Alan Ablitz, and Fern Jacobs. May their memories be for a blessing. Page 58, invite those in mourning or marking a yort site to rise and join me in the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yalmad yivarach kivitei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agala u'bizman kariv.
Amen.
Yehi shemei rabbah mevorach leolam u'lomei omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May be seated. Representing the Temple Israel Board of Trustees, I call on Jonathan Berger.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Cantor and Rabbi, for a wonderful, meaningful service this evening. Really appreciate it. So I want to talk about some upcoming events. First of all, the Temple Israel's Men's Club is at it again. They're holding an event this Sunday called Bagels, Locks, and Leadership. So that's Sunday, March 8th at 10 o'clock. Join us for Minyan at 9 o'clock, and then guest speaker Gary Michel, who's a former CEO and corporate executive, will share practical leadership insights on his 40-year career. So it should be a great event. All right, the following Sunday, March 15th, is Yom Gemilat Chasadim. Okay, by the way, I am the chairman, and my wife is the chairman of Social Action. So I'm going to expand on this just a little bit, so get ready for it. Okay? So, Yom Gemilat Chasadim means a day of performing acts of loving kindness. WODI, the Men's Club, TIRS, Still, Chesed, Jewish Family Services, the Federation, Hadassah, Shalom Green, and many other dedicated volunteers are running 20 mitzvah projects here at Temple Israel on March 15th. That entire social hall will be completely filled with tables with interactive, hands-on mitzvah projects. This is all in support of the Men's Shelter, Safe Alliance, Huntington Town Farm Elementary School, Jewish Soldiers, the Levine Children's Hospital NICU, and Shalom Security Team, along with many people in need within the Jewish community. Now, during this event, you can learn about volunteering with the IDF in Israel with SAR-L and how to help rebuild North Carolina communities after the hurricanes with Nechama. Also, this is pretty big. You will have the opportunity to provide your feedback on the design of the new Holocaust Memorial that's going to be built in Charlotte with representatives from the Circle for Humanity. There's also an Israeli dance performance, and this will get you all free lunch, okay? So, what do you think? Does this interest anybody? Raise your hand if this interests you. We need more hands raised.
Jonathan and Tess Berger want to see you all there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so if you decide to come, which I hope you do, there's a food drive for Jewish Family Services. There's a food drive for children in need at Huntington Town Farms Elementary School. Believe it or not, 40 children go home every Friday with food provided by Temple Israel community because they don't have food at home. 40 children, okay? And then Lodi is collecting women's intimates and rain gear for the Matilda's Mentionables collection, and that's all going to women in need and women in crisis, okay? And last and not least, we're accepting donations for the Jewish Federation Outshine Hate Initiative to put an end to anti-Semitism and anti-Israel hatred by educating, strengthening, and uniting our local community. Sam, you know about this one, right? Okay, all donations made of $100 and above on Sunday, March 15th will be matched. Our goal is $10,000. So if 50 people come and make a donation of $100, that's $5,000, it'll be matched and we will meet our goal. Simple thing to accomplish. Okay? Fun and meaningful event. I really hope that you will all come. Okay? All right, so that's the 15th. The 17th, Stills got a lunch and presentation by Judy LaPietra. Director of the Stan Greenspan Holocaust Educational Center, speaking on the mutation of anti-Semitism. Then, of course, please sign up for Temple Israel's second night of the Congregational Seder. It's on April 2nd at 6 p.m. It'll be a catered Passover meal and a meaningful evening together. And finally, almost finally, a reminder to please register. No, I'm sorry, that was it. All right, who came here for Purim? Who was here? How was it? Amazing, right? Okay. So, the Purim spiel, that's how it started. So thank you for all the spielers who made the year's Purim spiel the best ever. Cantor Lissick, Rabbi Wolk, Brooke Amo, Larry Sands, Lee Walker, Joshua Walker, Caleb Seidler, Shanta Brown, Paige Lawson, Sammy Gartner, Lindsay Gardner, Abby Miller, Liz Marcus, Sarah Marcus, and Bill Grish. That's everybody, okay? And a big thank you for Larry Sands and Sean Levert for their wonderful AV support during the Purim spiel. Your help behind the scenes made everything run smoothly and helped make the evening such a fun and successful event for our community. Okay, last thing. Today you received an email from Temple Israel. In it are flyers of all these events. So look at it, okay? Take a look at it. If you want to remember what to bring in terms of donations, Yom Gimilat Chasadim. Take a look at it, it's all there. All these other programs are there also. If you didn't get it, go to Temple Israel website, hit calendar, and you will see all the flyers. So thank you, Shabbat Shalom, that's it.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Jonathan. Turn back to page 5. We conclude Kabbalat Shabbat in the middle of the page with the words of Shalom Aleichem. If you're joining the prime timers for Shabbat dinner, I invite you to join them in the social hall after services and find spaces around the table and name tags as well. And we'll start Kiddush in there in a few moments. Tomorrow morning, Shabbat services at 9:30 a.m.
And I just want to thank the prime timers for helping us lead services this evening. It's wonderful to have your voices leading. And I'll just let you know if there's anyone who wants to lead any services, whether it's minyan or do something during services, please email me. I know a lot of you can do it with like a little encouragement. So please know that that's an option for you. And I think the prime timer community is one that is most positioned for something like that. So please reach out if you've been dying to do that and you want just like a little encouragement, a little support. I'm here for you. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hashare, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Achuni L'Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.